the Sci-Fi Invasion. I'm your host, Joey Hollywood, and I'm trying to get through all 50 movies in this 50 movie box set from Mill Creek in 50 weeks. And the movie we're going to be talking about today is The Brain Machine from 1977. And I gotta say, I think this is the first truly big dud of this collection. I personally don't like Hercules movies. There's a lot of movies that I feel kind of fall flat. This movie, I think, does not work on any metric whatsoever. This movie sucks from beginning to end. It's actually really difficult to articulate why, because the movie itself makes little to no sense, because quite frankly, it feels like nothing's happening. The opening of the movie, for like 30, 40 minutes maybe, it's a lot of like vague, it's all done in innuendo and vague. It's like people are calling each other and it's like, oh yeah, we gotta silence this guy, and they call out a hit and they kill somebody. And it's like, all right, well, what are they hiding? It's a brain machine? What the heck's a brain machine? You know, it's a lot of things like that. It's like, what is this? And then it's not till like the last 30 minutes of the movie where it even has even the closest idea of a plot. I'll talk about that part, because that part's something I can vaguely follow. There is a big room, and it's called the Brain Machine. And what the Brain Machine does is it's shaped like the medical cross, and the more you lie, the more the rooms close, right? And they have these folding chairs, and the folding chairs view your brain. And there's a handful of people here, and they're all supposed to be honest, because if they're not honest, the Brain Machine will know. And it's very vague on what will happen if the Brain Machine knows. But they all ended up lying on their applications, which makes the first half of the movie make even less sense, because they all desperately want to be part of this project, and they're like, oh, I have nothing to hide, and then they all have something to hide, but they don't seem to get anything out of lying about it. They don't seem to get anything from this project. And there's a priest who ends up being a child molester. There's a woman who lied about being married, but she goes, oh, I didn't actually get married because it was annulled, so it doesn't count. But then it's revealed she murdered her child, because in her own words, you can't annul a baby. And it's weird. And they all kill themselves in the Brain Machine. They all kill themselves. And it just feels like the worst episode of The Outer Limits ever made. But that's only like a small chunk of the movie. The rest of the movie is all vagaries and innuendos and people talking about something that seems like it should be important, but you don't know what they're talking about. I actually started the movie over again because I felt like I was missing something. The movie doesn't make a whole hell of a lot of sense, and it's a frustrating film. This movie is the definition of a nothing burger. It's got an interesting end and beginning, but there's no meat in it at all. It's just nothing. If it's not the first, it's one of the ones where I actively felt like I was wasting my time watching it. I really didn't like this movie. I do not recommend it at all. It is the definition of a chore. It was a pain. No good things to say about this one. It royally sucked. Skip it. That's all I gotta say. Skip the Brain Machine. It looks like a TV movie, but it feels like a crappy student film that was bloated into a movie length. It's terrible. It's actually terrible. I have no nice things to say about it. That's it for now. Hopefully next week we'll have something more fun to talk about. And see you then. Remember, please be kind and rewind.